So the gap between second and first. Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video on the main channel. We're back again with another top 10 because if it's a Twitch redeem, it's usually probably a top 10 because you guys seem to love these. We're joined by the man who redeemed this one. We're joined by Jack today.
Hello.
Yes, it's just a duo today because H's Pokemon knowledge only goes to Gen 4, Gen 5 and Gen 9. So
yeah, it's pretty much non-existent.
It's pretty much not like when we did the starters and like the Gen 9 Pokemons, they knew their stuff. This, not really.
Not a clue.
So, do you want to tell us what the top 10 is today, Jake? Because you did request it.
I did redeem. Yeah. So the top 10 this time is. I thought this would just be a fun one to do. It's top 10 Pokemon most likely. That's a key thing to remember. Most likely to get a new Mega Evolution in Pokemon Legends ZA, which obviously is the new game coming out next year.
Yes.
So I want this to be a bit of a fun one to do because when the game comes out, we can see how accurate we were. Probably not at all.
Probably not. Judging by the Mario Kart, to be fair, when we did the Mario Kart ones, we got most of we did okay. But for this, I feel like we're going to be a way off.
Probably. I mean, the thing is, like, there is a very real possibility that the Megas thing is actually not going to be much, and there might be like one or two new ones, and that's it. Yeah. Like, we're fully expecting it to be like Oris, where we just got a whole bunch of new ones. We might only get like 3 or 4.
it might just be the old ones are back.
It might be. I mean,
that'll be very disappointing, but
yeah, but we're choosing to be optimistic here because I feel like they wouldn't tease it at the end of the reveal trailer if it wasn't properly back.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
yes, we are being optimistic,
and also we're not saying Gen 6 stars because that'd be too obvious.
Yeah, that was the one thing I specified. Yeah, not the Gen 6 starters because that's like if there's any Pokemon that are close to guaranteed to getting Megas, it would be them.
Yeah. But the thing is, with Legends game, they probably won't be the normal Gen 6 stars. There might be one and then like 2 random ones out of nowhere.
Yeah, it probably will be like it'll be like the starters won't be the Gen 6 starters, but if Arceus is anything to go by, they'll be in the game.
They'll be in the game at some point.
I just feel like if they bring Megas back, I just feel like there's no way they won't give the Gen 6 starters Megas.
Yeah, Greninja just shouts Mega all over it, doesn't it?
A little bit. But anyway,
I asked 14 people today. So obviously we've got a list from me, a list from Alka, a list from Jack, a list from Chris, Scoot, Sprangle, Ryman, Luna, Reflect, Gareth, Nintenhawk, Molly, Foss, and Mr. Spider-Melon. So a varied list of people who are into Pokemon. Total scores max Pokemon can get is 140. We had 81 different Pokemon on this list out of 140. So
yep. So this will be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be interesting to start with because we have a 4-way tie in 15th place.
Yeah, okay. I feel like there's going to be a lot of ties in this, but please go ahead.
Surprisingly, this is one of 2 ties in the entire top 15.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Mind you, I wonder if that just means that there's a bunch of ties at the bottom and then these ones above it are the only ones that got more than a single vote.
Well, to be fair, all these got 14 points, so there is no chance they got single points. I'm going to start with the Pokemon that someone had first spot.
Okay.
So they gave him 10, someone else gave him like a 4, you know?
Yeah.
Gen 6 Pokemon
right.
is Klefki.
Oh, Klefki. Okay.
Yeah.
I considered Klefki. I considered Klefki when I was making my list. I thought, like, I don't know. I was kind of thinking along the lines of, like, you know, if they're going to bring Megas back, they're probably going to do, like, they're going to try to have it so it's not all just ones of one type. And I thought, if they're going to do, like, fairy types, I feel like there's better options in Gen 6 and Klefki.
Yeah. But I feel like with Klefki, being obviously Prankster, being not the great base stats, it's just used a lot because it's got Prankster and got good typing.
Yeah.
That jazz. If they Mega Evolved it, just made that a little bit, like, fatter. Like, they don't even do changeability. Just make it a little bit fatter, maybe a little bit faster. It would be...
Yeah, because it kind of feels a little bit similar to, like, how... I don't know. Maybe this is a bad comparison because I don't know much about competitive, but it feels a little similar to like how Sableye kind of was. Like had like a good typing,
Yeah,
like not really, not a lot of people used it because it didn't have very great stats, and then they gave it a Mega. And
Mega.
I don't know how good Mega Sableye is, but
It's one of the worst ones, but
fair. But they tried. They tried.
They tried to make it better. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot better than normal Sableye, to be fair, but
Well,
it's still
fair.
not.
Yeah, so I could see Klefki happening. Again, I did consider Klefki, so and like, I feel like it's got a very like unique design, hasn't it?
It does.
So it's
I feel like it'd just be a bigger set of keys, right? Have more keys on it, maybe. I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe it'll turn into a door.
Maybe it'll turn into a thought. You never know. Yeah. Okay, so that was one of the Mons tied in 15th spot.
Okay.
The next Pokemon, someone had second place.
Right.
That person was Molecule.
Okay.
We're back. We're still in Gen 6. It's a water type. Corvitza.
Okay. Kloitzer. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I can definitely see
see
Kloitzer
Kloitzer?
happening.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Kloitzer is one of the ones that nearly made my list, but like I feel like it's like I love Kloitzer. It's such a cool design. I feel like they could do a lot with like making the like arm cannon thing just bigger. And like just I think they could give it 2 instead of 1.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean it literally has Mega
Launcher
Launcher as an ability.
Yeah.
So like, you know, it's kind of the clue's in the name kind of thing.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I could definitely see Kloitzer happening. I feel like I feel like it's a pretty like well liked one from the gen as well.
It's well liked from Gen 6, yeah.
When you consider like the other water types, I mean, obviously there's Greninja, who probably would get a Mega, but
yeah.
I feel like between Kloitzer and I think Barbaracle is the other one, like I feel like Kloitzer would be more likely of the two.
I would agree, 100% agree. But yeah,
I mean, Barbaracle's still pretty cool. I feel like generally Gen 6 mons are pretty good, but
yeah,
Kloitzer has it for me.
Yeah, I feel like especially with shiny when it's red as well. It's just like I feel like amazing. So
okay,
Klefki, Corvitza. The next mon, highest someone had 5th. So a lot of people had this Pokemon, but not that high.
Okay. Okay.
We're still in Gen 6.
Yeah.
We're still in Gen 6. It's one of the early Pokemon you get in X and Y.
Okay.
Talonflame.
Talonflame. Okay, yeah. This is the first one that's on my list. I had Talonflame 9th.
Yes.
I feel like this is like a bit of a no-brainer kind of thing, like being like the Pidgeot of the generation, like, and it being such a popular Pokemon both casually and competitively as well. Like,
yeah,
I just feel like Mega Talonflame, just like the idea of it. Like, I don't know much about competitive, but the idea of Mega Talonflame still sends a shiver down my spine.
Yeah,
because I remember like the days in college when we would like sometimes all battle, and like the people who had Talonflame, it was always a beast to try to deal with back then.
They have nerfed it slightly.
Okay.
Because it only gets Gale Wings at 100% HP.
Right.
So literally only its first attack it gets a priority of 5 moves. Everything else, no. So it's still good, but just not as good as before. I feel like Mega Talonflame will turn into like a big old Phoenix type thing, you know.
Yeah.
Fire just coming out of it everywhere. It'd be absolutely scary. I think its speed is probably still okay. I'll probably make it maybe slightly bigger. I think it still have Gale Wings, but I'm pretty sure it'll be more of an aesthetic thing. Now the last mon tied with Corvitza, Klefki, Talonflame is an interesting one.
Okay.
Someone had it second. 14 points, obviously.
Yeah.
I feel like this one is probably going to mainly potentially be the story-based Mega in the game.
Right.
AZ's Floette.
I think I might. Yeah. So yeah. So this was an interesting one for me because like I had Floette. I had it at 6.
Yeah.
If you haven't had any of these yet, I assume.
No.
No. Yeah, I put Floette because of AZ, obviously. I feel like he's almost... I feel like he has to be in the story. Surely he has to be in it.
I feel like he has to, yeah.
So, like... Yeah, I feel like if they're... Because the thing is, we already know that Eternal Flower Floette was a thing, and it has what is that ability, like Light of Ruin or something? That move that it has, it's like
Oh, it's like
hidden.
oh, what's it called? It does a lot of damage, but does like half your health or something stupid like that. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
like it's got that exclusive move that never saw the light of day. No pun
The light of
intended.
ruin. Yeah,
I feel like the absolute most obvious slam dunk thing they could do in this game is to give us Eternal Flower Floette, let it mega evolve, and let us use that move. I feel
yeah.
like that's the bit. I feel like after what, like 11 years of like knowing it existed and not being able to use it, being able to finally use it in this would just be like a fuck yeah kind of
It's
thing.
like Arceus back in Gen 4 days. We knew it was there, we just couldn't use it.
Yeah, we
Sort of
just
like Gen
couldn't get
6
it.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Or Gen 7.
yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
it is,
They're like
use it.
hack the game to get
Payments,
it. So
yeah.
like, yeah, I just feel like this one's a no-brainer. And the thing is that the like the people who hacked Eternal Flower Floette actually into their games, like it can't like breed, it can't like, so it's almost like it's its own thing. It's not like it doesn't evolve into Florges kind of thing. So
Yeah.
like that almost kind of to me qualifies it to have a mega because it seems like it's its own thing. Because like
Yeah.
normally I would be like, oh, it's not the final Evo, so surely Florges would get the mega instead.
Yeah.
But I just feel like
Makes
Floette
sense,
makes more sense.
Yeah,
And
for
I
sure.
I did consider Florges quite a bit, like because if there's any fairy type, like Florges is like the main fairy type that they added. So
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
but yeah, Floette just makes too much sense. I feel like they'd be dumb not to do it.
They would be very dumb not to do it. But
So yes,
that was our batch of 15 spots with 14 points.
yeah, that was all just 50.
That was all just 15, yeah. Next up, we've got Amon. They got 1 point more, so 15 points. The highest someone had it was second place, which was Chris. We're not in
Okay.
Gen 6.
Ooh,
We're in Gen 5.
okay.
It's one of the stronger Pokemon in Gen 5. It's a dragon type, Haxorus.
Haxorus, okay.
This is
yeah.
the first Mon on my list. I had it
Ah.
I had it 6th.
Ah, nice. Well, why don't you take us away then?
I feel like when I made my list, I thought, what? Because when I put my list in and I saw all the others come in, I went, oh no, my brain's gone somewhere completely different, right? So what I did was I sat down and thought, right, what generations are more than likely going to get megas?
Yeah.
I thought Gen 1, Gen 5, Gen 6. Because Gen 5 only has one. Gen 6 is
Yeah.
obviously based in Gen 6. It's going to have a lot of Gen 6 megas. And it's Game Freak. They're going to ram down Gen 1s
There's always going to
everywhere.
be Gen 1.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I didn't think, because it was set in Gen 6, I didn't think 7, 8 or 9 were in the question kind of thing.
Yeah, I briefly considered them, but I haven't got any
Yeah.
from Gen 7, 8 or 9.
Yeah. So I was like 1, 5 and 6 were my priority. And I kind of picked like 3 or 4 from each gen, so my list is a bit all over the spot. But Haxorus,
Fair.
Haxorus for me was my second highest Gen 5 Pokemon. But I feel like, being just pure dragon, I can see them adding bug to it, because it's literally looks like a bug. I feel like if Dragon Bug, we haven't got Dragon Bug yet. If I correct, I don't think we do.
We haven't. We should have gotten it multiple times, but we haven't.
We haven't. I feel like it would be good. Either this or Yan Mega should get a Mega Bug Dragon type, because it's a fucking dragonfly. But we digress.
Yeah.
Considering
Yeah, and Mega. You could argue Flygon, Sliverwing.
there's so many options. I think Haxorus would be a good option because A, it's already strong. It's a bit like Mega Garchomp, like when it first came out. That was broken. I feel like Mega Haxorus would be broken a lot. And I just feel like its design would be really cool and something different. Because I feel like the dragons in Gen 5, I feel like Hydreigon gets all the love and Haxorus is just kind of like over there.
I think so too. Yeah, I definitely agree. Especially when you consider we've just got Iron Jugulus as well.
Yeah.
So like Hydreigon has kind of gotten the love recently, and like Haxorus is like it's kind of been forgotten. And I mean, it was like I don't know. It's like Iris's ace, and I know Iris is like a big character in the anime, and like she's obviously the champion in Black 2 White 2, and like so like it's a pretty big Pokemon, and like it might not be the pseudo of the generation, but it's still a big Pokemon.
It's a big boy. 100%.
So like and definitely the design. I could see them really like going the fuck off with Mega Haxorus. So like
100%.
I could totally see it.
To get behind a Mega Haxorus, I feel like it would be really cool. Like I prefer Hydreigon to Haxorus, but I just felt like Hydreigon didn't make my list because I feel like if they megaed it, it'd be a bit.
yeah, I'm kind of the same. I had Haxorus in the running, but it didn't make it. But Hydreigon, I was just like, no, I just don't see it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. Mega Hydreigon. It just no.
It could like say Vine Jugglers and stuff. I feel like it's got love
Yeah,
recently.
I think
Needs it.
I think that's why. Honestly, it's like we just got Mega Jugulus, Iron Jugulus. So I just feel like Mega Hydreigon as well would be a bit overkill.
Would be just a tad, just a smidge. Right, 13th spot, 1 point more. This is very common in this list because obviously it's so widespread. Like 1 point separates everything. The highest this one got was 5th.
Okay, so this is another popular one then.
It's a popular one.
People voting for it.
Sprangle had it 5th.
Okay.
And you had it 5th.
Ah, okay, nice.
Horlucha.
Horlucha.
Back to Gen 6. We took a brief stop away from Gen 5, but we're back.
Horlucha. Felt like a second we took a step away.
Yeah, Gen 6. Horlucha.
Yeah,
now,
I mean, yeah.
It did cross my mind, but I felt like I couldn't, in my head, I couldn't say how, like design-wise, they would make it mega.
I feel like they would have to just make it bigger and bulkier. I feel like that would have to be it. It would have to be like an Incineroar style glow up kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like it's such a a striking Pokemon, and I don't mean that as a pun. I mean like it's just very, very. I feel like it's very different to like most other Pokemon. It was one of the like most noteworthy Pokemon they added in Gen 6. Like obviously being the first fighting flying type, having flying press as to date the only dual type move. Like it's just, I just feel like it's a very, very unique Pokemon. So I feel like if they're gonna give Gen 6 Pokemon some love, I feel like Horlucha's got to be up there.
Also with that gen, obviously the fighting type gym.
It's just and I just love it as well. It's such a cool Pokemon. I mean, we've now had other fighting and flying types. Well, I think we had one. We had Flamigo, but like Horlucha still takes the cake over Flamigo any day for me. So,
100%.
It's such a cool type combo as well, and like you know, it's just a really cool Pokemon. I don't know what else to say. I want it to get more love. Is honestly the main reason I've got it there.
Yeah,
I love it
because I think in Gen 6. Mega Lucario was shoved in your face in that gym.
Yeah,
Horlucha should have been a race. Like,
well, it's really dumb because like literally Horlucha is right there. It should have been a race, and it's just like it's just abandoned for Lucario, which is dumb. And it's a problem that X and Y had a lot. Cause it's the same with Diantha. She's got a Gardevoir as her ace when Fortress is right there.
Yeah,
like
it's like they had to. I get they've got to have megas in the story, right? But like, make the Megas Gen 6 Pokemon or something, you know?
That's something I've never understood about X and Y. Why they brought in this whole new thing of Megas and then none of the new Pokemon had them. Like, I always found that so weird.
I was going to say, Diancie!
Apart from Diancie.
But that was... Diancie was like, not added to the game. It was like, extra. You got us an event.
Yeah, that was like a bonus thing, so like, it doesn't count at all.
It's like with Lysandre. It's like, his ace is Mega Gyarados, so I'm like... Come on now.
Yeah, like why did you not like? I don't know. Anyway, I won't say that because that might be a Pokemon we talk about later. But
potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, 12th spot, 1 point more.
1 point. So how many points is this? 15? Is it?
17 points.
17. Okay.
17 points. Someone had this Mom first, which was Luna.
Okay.
We're still in Gen 6.
Yeah.
It's a very unique Pokemon from Gen 6. You may have to do this with your 3DS to evolve it.
Yeah, okay.
Malamar!
Malamar. Okay.
Again.
Squidward.
I had this 4th on my list. And I want to say now...
Okay.
I've only got 3 Mons in total in the top 15 on my list. We've already talked about 2. So...
Already talked about 2.
And we're not even hit the top 10 yet. So...
So your list is the outlier this time. Last time it was me. Usually it's 8. This time it was you.
Yeah, like hands down. But we'll talk about my ones up at the end. But yeah, Malamar. My highest ranked Gen 6 Pokemon I think would get a Mega. Because I feel like Malamar has got such a unique design. They could 100% make it. I think the design would be cool. It could turn us like this like Ursula type thing from like Little Mermaid. Be evil, make it even more busted because obviously it's got contrary superpower. Die, I get stronger. If they all they got to do is make it like maybe either more bulkier or maybe like a smidge faster, then it would be absolutely disgusting.
I feel like that disgusting.
Disgusting. Yeah.
I feel like they would go the route of making it bulkier. I feel like that. I mean, they could just go. They could go full on handsome Squidward on it, but I feel like I prefer them to go more bulky on it. But like,
yeah,
I could totally see this. This is one that is like, for me, it's kind of in the same ballpark as Horlucha, where it feels very like unique and like very like memorable. Like, I think the whole turning your DS upside down is so like infamous at this point of
is that
weird evolution methods.
Is that the first Pokemon which had a weird evolution method?
I think it might be. Gen 6 was the first gen, I think, that introduced weird evolution methods. I think that was the first original one.
Isn't the only one in Gen 6? No, Sylveon, you had to do the...
no. I don't know if it's something that I can...
Wait. Milotic is like contest, so that's a weird one. Never mind.
Well, Milotic is... yeah, I suppose so. You have to like level up the beauty, but the thing is, like, they sort of ditched contests, so then it just became happiness, didn't it?
Yeah. I feel like...
I think it did. Or maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Oh, no. So, when traded while holding a prism scale...
Oh, yeah, so...
Yeah, so they changed it to a regular hold item evolution, so, like...
Yeah, so Malamar... Yeah. I think Sylveon as well, you had to boost it in, like, the Pokemon Ami or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Like
so it was like...
But yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's very similar to Horlucha in how it's just, like... So, very like striking, very memorable. I think I don't know if Psychic Dark, if that was the first time we got that combo, but it definitely was one of the only ones that we've gotten to date. Yeah. So that's also pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can definitely see that 100%.
100%. Now we've got kind of an issue here.
Okay.
Because we've got two Pokemon, 111, 110th, 1 point different, but they're pretty much the same. You could probably put them together.
Okay, should we just do that then?
Yeah, it's Xerneas and Yveltal.
Ah, okay, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. I think it's fair to. Yeah. I think it's fair to bung them together.
Also, just for the people in the video, Xerneas got 1 more point, but
okay.
It's kind of like I could like it's again with AZ Flow out. I can see it happening.
Yeah, it's tomato really, isn't it? But I feel like bung them together. That's fine. Yeah. I could definitely see this happening. These guys very nearly made my list.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's kind of a no-brainer, really. And the thing is that because we already have Zygarde complete, that basically is its Mega
Zygarde. Yeah.
So I feel like having one for Xerneas and Yveltal would just make sense. So like, yeah, I can definitely see this happening, and obviously them being the box legendary. I mean, like in Arceus, we got not Primal Dialga, Origin Dialga and Palkia to match Origin Giratina. So it feels like to follow on that trend, you get Mega Xerneas and Yveltal to match complete Zygarde. Like, it just makes sense to me.
100%.
So
it does.
Yeah, I can totally see this happening. And they're really cool legendaries as well. Like, just like everything with Gen 6, they don't get enough love because they are both really cool.
I feel like Mega Xerneas would probably look cooler than Mega Yveltal just because of the...
My one hope, if they do Mega Xerneas, because it's always bothered me that, obviously, like Yveltal very clearly looks like the letter Y when it spreads its wings. Xerneas does not really look like the letter X. I know it's meant to when it's like got its like legs out.
Yeah.
But my one wish is that the like rainbowy like tusks it's got, that they come out this way as well. Yeah. So that it properly looks like an X.
A massive X on its face.
Yeah.
Anna's here and Anna's down here.
It's just got an X. It's got the X logo on it, and it says sponsored by Elon Musk at the bottom.
Yeah.
No, maybe that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 100%. I can totally see that happening. I think that's a important one to have there, to be honest.
Which is why I want to talk about, because they're literally next to each other on the list. There's like nothing near them.
Yeah,
they're just there.
You might there's nothing you could say for Yveltal that you can also say for Xerneas. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we move on. So technically that was our top 10 because they only got 10th, but
okay,
it's fine. Last tie of the list, both on 20 points.
Okay.
So joint 8th. One of the Pokemon, only 2 people had number 1, and that's it. All we got.
Okay.
We're going to Gen 1, right?
Right.
Sprangle and Reflect had this number 1.
Okay.
Sprangle said this list is purely based on what I think Game Freak will do. Not what I want, because this probably wouldn't even go anywhere near her list. You probably know what I'm going to say with this.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I know what this is.
Mega Charizard Z.
God fucking damn it. Why Game Freak? Why?
I was very surprised that, in my head, I was like, will Charizard and Mewtwo get... We're not going to talk about Mewtwo, but is Charizard and Mewtwo going to get another Mega? I was like, please no, but I feel like it's going to happen.
I really don't want Mega Charizard Z to be a thing, but I hate how likely it feels.
In my head, I think Mewtwo's more likely, but unless they make Charmander another fucking starter, then I don't see it happening.
I don't know. Surely they can't make Charmander one of the starters. I mean, that's too obvious. Like, it can't be. Surely they can't have any of the Gen 1s, because, like, they're everywhere.
They are.
Oh,
but again, I don't even know what they would do with Charizard Z.
No, neither do I. I mean,
because why makes it like a primal form? X finally makes it a dragon. What they can't like combine the two.
I don't really know what they would do. Yeah, if they combine the two, it'd make the X and Y versions kind of pointless and like
it'd make it a dragon fire type, right? And it has, but no.
Yeah, I feel like this. I can't think of a way that like they could go with it, but it probably would happen, and that makes me sad inside.
Yeah, it does.
I hope they don't. I
hope they don't. But there's a thing in the back of my head saying it might happen.
There is a thing in the back of my head, but I don't know. I kind of just am getting a vibe lately that maybe they're finally understanding that we don't want Charizard every 5 seconds. I don't know. I hope so. I hope I'm right, because I feel like they've just not really... They haven't really thrown much love to Charizard recently, and like normally they do it like every 6 months, so like...
Yeah.
Maybe something's finally changing.
Maybe. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
I mean, to be fair, the very first like special raid in Scarlet and Violet was Charizard, but I digress.
I digress. Yeah. So type of Charizard is the first one we're going to talk about that's not from Gen 6 or Gen 5 or Gen 1.
Okay.
We're going to Gen 3, I believe.
Right, so this is the other one that had 20 points.
20 points, yes. It was on your list. You had it the highest.
Ah, okay.
You had it second.
I did.
We may have talked about it like 5 minutes ago.
Yes, we did.
Milotic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like, so I feel like this is like, obviously Gen 3 already got a whole bunch of Megas with Auras, so I feel like Gen 3 Megas are not going to, there's not going to be that many, if any at all.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the fact that we don't have Mega Milotic feels like a missed opportunity. Well, you've got Mega Gyarados, and they're obviously kind of like counterparts to each other.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just feels right. I feel like Milotic is just a Pokemon that like should have a Mega by now.
It should, because I feel like it's a good Pokemon competitively. It's like bulky as hell. I could see it. I could do him going, "Oh, we're going to add fairy to this because it's beautiful and amazing."
Yeah, 100%.
And then make it, and then if it's a fairy type and it's got Marvel Scale and it makes him all fat, I feel like it's going to be an absolute carnage beast, right? And just wreck lives. But
I feel that was my main thought, is that I can imagine them like really leaning into the like rainbow scales kind of thing, and like the flowing like like ribbons or whatever it's got, and just going full fairy type. Like 100%. I can see it in my mind's eye. Like I just feel like it has to happen.
It has to happen, right? It probably will happen.
It probably will. Again, I'm surprised it didn't in Oris, but maybe they were like, you know what? No, Milotic's cool enough, it doesn't need it, but it does need it, Game Freak. Don't listen to yourselves, it does need it.
I feel like in my head, if Gen 3 were going to have a Mega,
Milotic is like one of the most obvious picks, isn't it, that we haven't already had?
Yeah. Yeah.
I say that, like... I feel like there's a certain Pokemon on both our minds right now that you don't want to mention, but yeah, Milotic is one of the most obvious picks.
It is. We move on now to 7th spot. There's a pattern here. 21 points. Each jump so far has been 1 point more, 1 point more, 1 point more, 1 point more.
My God.
After this, there's no 1 point. There's bigger jumps.
Oh wow.
So
after this, we start to get into the clear favourites.
Yes. Do you know what else is funny? This is the last mon on my list which made the top 50.
So none of the like actual mega popular ones were in your list, basically.
No, not at all.
Okay.
And I had
at least one of yours made the top 10.
I had this second.
Oh my god.
So that means my first and number 3 didn't even make the top 15. But yeah, I had second, Ryman had third. We're going back to Gen 1.
Okay.
This was my second highest Gen 1 Pokemon. I thought, this deserves a Mega. It gets no love. It's a pseudo. It's Dragonite.
Dragonite, yeah. Dragonite was my number 12 when I finished my ranking. The problem so it was very close.
It'd be called the Dragonite, which would be a bit dumb. But but I just feel like out of all the pseudos, out of all of them, Dragonite is the least loved. Don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe like Baxcalibur or whatever, because it's the newer one, but like...
It's like a very rare... Baxcalibur at least has the typing on its side, because it's a different typing for a pseudo. Yeah. Dragonite, I feel like, just has a lot of problems. It's like I don't know, I feel like in terms of like design, people are always like, it looks really rubbish compared to Dragonair. I feel like like Dragon Flying they did with multiple other pseudos. Like you've got Salamander, it's just the same thing. You've got actually I think that's the only other Dragon Flying type. But like Altaria. I don't know, you've got another one that's got the same type.
Altaria.
I feel like Altaria, yeah, that's not really a pseudo, but yeah,
you've
got Altaria as well.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I feel like there's nothing about Dragonite which like majorly stands out, which is weird because I feel like it's maybe one of the only times where like a Gen 1 version of something is one of the least popular. Like normally like the Gen 1 is always one of the most popular ones. So Dragonite, kind of been lost to the mist of time. Also, I don't think the fact that Charizard's existence has ever helped it because like people always just look at Charizard and Dragonite and think, oh, Charizard's the cooler dragon, even though it's not a dragon type.
I know, right?
So, like,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Dragonite needs the love.
Dragonite needs the love. I feel like because Pseudo in Gen 2 got a Mega. Both the Pseudos in Gen 3 got a Mega. Garchomp, Mega.
Yeah.
Dragonite didn't get one. Obviously, 5 onwards, they didn't really care about Mega, so that makes sense. They didn't get one.
Yeah.
But like... please, Dragonite, Game Freak, come on.
Yeah, he deserves it. Like, I don't often say this for Gen 1 Pokemon, but he deserves some love. He hasn't gotten any.
I just feel like it's one of the mods in Gen 1 which got the least love, which hasn't got like different form, a Mega, had a special Z move, or like Gigantamax form. Had nothing. It's had nothing
at all.
Nothing. Even if they could like make it, maybe change a typing of it. I don't know, make it dragon something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
They could do anything they want with it.
They could. They really could. They choose not to, and I hate it
because they're weird.
Anyway.
Yeah. So the rest of this list, nowhere near my top 10. Right. Number 6, 5-point jump, 26 points.
Okay.
We've had some time off of Gen 6 Pokemon. We'll come back.
Okay, back to back.
Chris had this first. Scoots had this second. It's a ghost grass type from Gen 6.
If I had a penny for every ghost grass type from Gen 6,
I'd have 2 pennies.
Oh dear.
It's not Gorgeist.
Yeah, because it was always going to be Trevenant because Trevenant is clearly the cooler one.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel like Mega Trevenant would be really cool.
Yeah, Trevenant was within my top 15. It didn't make my top 10, but it was within the top 15.
Yeah.
This is just one where I just look at it and just think they could really go off with a Mega of this. Like
100%.
They could do something really, really cool with it. I'm kind of just like picturing some really like nightmarish, like evil tree spirit kind of thing. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like they could really just go ham with the design on this one.
Or just make it like a big old tree, or make it like Dog Trio, where there's like 3 or 4 different trees.
3 of them.
There's 3 or 4 of them.
It is us, Trivenant. There is 3 of us.
Yeah, and it gets more bulkier, and obviously Harvest. It can there's like a broken Harvest where, or something like that. I don't know. Just be like very bulky. Ghost Grass is a very, I'd say unique typing, but from Gen 6 on, there's been Ghost Grass.
We've had quite a few of them.
Decidueye, Brambleghast. There's like freaking loads of them.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a very interesting typing. Like, I was there a Grass Ghost type before Trevenant?
No, that was the first one.
I don't think there was. Yeah, Trevenant and Gorgeist were the first
So
ones.
yeah.
So, and again, Trevenant is cooler. So, yeah,
And I feel like because Gorgeist has different sizes, that'd be a bit weird. You'd have a small mega, a big meta, a
true.
medium
Yeah,
mega.
very true. Actually,
Yeah, it'd be very weird. But yeah, it didn't cross my mind on my list because like I said, I only picked like 3 or 4 Gen 4 Pokemon, Gen 4,
Yeah.
Gen 6 Pokemon. Trevor nearly made it, but I thought, not for me. But yeah, I could see it getting a Mega. I'll take the 5th. We're still in Gen 6.
Okay.
29 points, so 3 points more.
Okay.
Highest someone had it was 2nd, which is Mr. Gareth. Jack had it in their
Okay.
top 3.
Ooh. Okay.
Pyro.
Pyro. Yeah.
Pyro.
So, I feel like with this, the reason is very obvious. It's because of the connection to Lysandra.
Yes.
Like, I feel like that's a very, like, what I was going to say earlier was, why did they give Lysandra Mega Gyarados when they could have done Mega Pyro? Because Pyro is literally the Pokemon that Lysandra was, like, made to look like.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah. I just think they could just really, like, do something really cool with this one. Just give it, like, this huge, like, fiery, like, lustrous mane and, like... But yeah, it's a really cool Pokemon, and it's never gotten any love. It's such a unique Pokemon.
It's like normal fire. It's very unique. It's got obviously male and female form. I don't know if that will affect it being a Mega. Not sure.
I mean, it might do. I mean, the thing is, they could always just like have the Mega just have a slightly different mane, like if it's male or female. But like,
yeah,
but
I can see it happening.
But I just feel like this one is one that could likely happen. Like, it's got like, I don't know. I feel like it's quite an interesting Pokemon. It felt like it was a bit of a focal point in Gen 6. So like, yeah, I just feel like this is kind of a no-brainer one. It's one of the ones where I just think of Gen 6 and I just think, yeah, that's one that they probably would give a Mega.
Yeah,
like, because it's also like, I would say it's not the strongest Pokemon. Like, I feel like it's all right, but it's not like
let's just say, if you're doing a playthrough of Pokemon Y, it's good. If you bring it to the competitive battle scene, terrible. Because its moveset is atrocious. Like, it's a special attacker, and it only gets Flamethrower Hyper Voice.
Yeah, that's not great.
Like,
so like...
I've only got Stab, and one of them's normal Stab, which isn't great.
It's not the best. So like, I feel like they could do something quite interesting with the Mega of it. Maybe give it like a OP ability to make it a bit better. Like, I don't know.
Like just sitting here now, I'm thinking, oh, Pyro, like it's a futuristic place. Mega, make it like a silver like statue line and make it Steel Fire type and just be like, I'm here.
That would be cool. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and be like all metal and then have like the main like a bright red like shiny.
Yeah,
glowy stuff and make it like give it like filter or something stupid like that to make it.
That would be pretty good. So, I can totally see Pyro happening. I think that's quite a likely one.
100%. But it's not our highest ranked Gen 6 Pokemon today.
Okay.
Speaking of, 4th spot, just missing out on podium position. 31 points.
31. Okay.
31. 2 people had 2nd, Alka and Mr. Nintenhawk.
Okay.
We're still in Gen 6. It's a Dragon type from Gen 6.
Okay.
Now, the reason I didn't put it on my list, because when I went through the Gen 6 Pokemon, it's got the Hisuian form, so I said, no, it's not going to happen. Yeah. But it's Goodra. Because I feel like Goodra's already got love from Legends Arceus, I think. It's not going to get married.
Yeah, so I did put Goodra 10th in my list, but looking back now that as I've been looking at my list while we've been doing this, I've been thinking like, no, Goodra's not going to get one. Yeah. So like, I feel like if I were to do my list now, I probably would put maybe Noivern instead.
Yeah.
Like, or something like that. I don't know. Or actually, no, it would be my Pokemon which ranked number 11, which I'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I could see them doing something for Goodra, but I think the fact that we got Hisuian, Sliggoo, and Goodra already kind of makes it a bit less likely. And I feel like I do think that like if they did Mega Gudra, it could be really cool. That they could give it water typing as well, and
Water
like they
Dragon.
could kind of do something a little bit different with it. Like I can definitely see them doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like Gudra. I think Gudra is really cool. It's like in the same boat as Dragonite. It kind of like doesn't get a lot of love. I mean, it has just gotten Hisuian
It's
Gudra,
just
but
got
I feel like
Gudra.
people kind of Hisuian Gudra. I think people kind of moved on from it very quickly. Like I don't think it's really caught anyone's attention. Like, it's not really that memorable. Like it's just Gudra with a big shell on its back, isn't it? Like it's
Yeah, it's like out of all the Hisuian forms in like Legends Arceus, it's probably like the least.
yeah.
memorable.
When you've got like. When you've got all the ones like Hisuian Quillfish and Overquill, and you've got like Hisuian Arcanine and like Hisuian Electrode and all this lot, I just feel like Gudra kind of gets a bit lost.
I think out of all of those, I think Hisuian Zoroark I've seen everywhere.
Oh yeah, Hisuian Zoroark is just immense. That's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. For good reason as well, because it's a really, really cool form. But I feel like
normal ghosts
Gudra.
as well. Well, but
yeah,
I
great
feel like
typing,
Gudra.
but like.
I feel like I could see it getting one because it's a Gen 6 pseudo, but I don't see it getting it at the same time because of Hisuian stuff.
Yeah.
In the last Legends games, so would they double Legends back to back? Give it love? Maybe
Yeah,
not.
maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's number 4.
Number 4, top podium position. Now, after what we talked about today, I don't think this is going to happen anymore.
Okay.
But we're still in Gen 6. He got 35 points. Molly had it first. Spider-Man had it second. Sprangle and Gareth had it third.
Okay.
Zygarde.
Zygarde, yeah, okay. So I feel like this is like I feel like if you just like think that, Pokemon Legends ZA, yeah, Zygarde, surely Mega Evolution, right?
Yeah.
But like, I just think because we've got complete Zygarde already, I feel like it's. Yeah, I just feel like it wouldn't happen. It's the same as how we didn't get a new version of Giratina because we already had Origin Giratina.
Yeah.
Like,
because if we get Mega Zygarde, would have the 1% Zygarde, would have Doggy Zygarde, would have normal Zygarde, would have complete Zygarde, and would have Mega Zygarde. That's 5. That's 5 different versions.
Yeah, which Zygarde is not a popular enough mon to justify having 5 different ones. At least Charizard is popular.
Yeah.
But like,
exactly.
But yeah, no, I don't think this will happen.
I don't.
But I think Zygarde definitely will get a lot of attention that it rightfully should have had in Pokemon Z that never happened.
Yeah.
I do think it will get a lot of attention, but I don't think it'll get a Mega.
I don't.
I think if anything, because I feel like obviously they did all the Zygarde stuff in Gen 7, but I feel like it didn't really get the attention it deserved, so I kind of feel like they would give a lot more attention to the different forms of Zygarde in this one.
Yeah.
Like, I can imagine them, right? I can imagine them doing a thing, kind of like in Scarlet and Violet, where you start with Zygarde at like 1%, and as you go through the game, maybe you find the cells or something, and like, it becomes stronger, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they could do something like that.
That's kind of what they did in Gen 7, though, because they just had the Zygarde's cubes like scattered everywhere, and you'd collect them all.
It is true.
And then, but that was like a side mission kind of thing, which wasn't really relevant to the story.
Yeah, it was kind of a side thing. It was quite obviously tacked on because they never did Pokemon Z. But I don't know. I feel like they could give it more of a focus, or maybe it's not. Maybe you wouldn't be the one going around and collecting them. Maybe it would I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they would have to give it more attention, like the different forms of it, because it didn't really get that attention.
Maybe the bad team, Galactic, whatever they're called in this, not Galactic. Flare. Why did I say Galactic? Because we talk about Giratina. Flare, right? They are going around collecting all the cubes, right? To make big boy scary Zygarde. Punch things. Banned. You have to get Xerneas / Yveltor, whatever, Mega them to try and stop, which we have a mon strong enough to deal with Mega Zygarde and kill it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see the evil teams Ultimate Aim being to get complete Zygarde.
Yeah.
I could totally see that, because it could be a thing where Yeah, I could see them doing a thing where, like, maybe the first time you fight, like, I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it in terms of, like, 'cause obviously in Legends Arceus you didn't actually battle that many trainers, but, like,
Yeah.
they could do a thing where, like, if there's, like, a main villain, you could, like, battle them early in the game and they've got, like, the 10% version, and then
Yeah.
later on they've got, like, 50%, and then later on they've got the complete one at the end. Like,
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And then they would almost certainly do a thing where, like, once you beat them, the Zygarde cells all like fucking scatter everywhere, and then you have to recollect them to get it.
Do it yourself. Yeah. You'd have
Almost
one.
certainly
You'd
they
have
would do
one
that.
cube, or you'd give it a dog and go, "Here you go. Now get the rest."
Yeah.
Like, why you got them all? What do you have to do? Oh, but
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Zygarde got number 3.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
2 Pokemon remain.
I think I might know what they both are. I think I might know what they are. I feel like there's a Mon that everyone has been saying should get a Mega for God knows how long, and there's a Mon which is a very obvious Gen 6 one that we've not mentioned. So I feel like I know what they both are.
Yeah. So Zygarde got 35 points, right?
Right.
Second place, 43 points.
Yeah. Okay.
3 people had it number 1, which was Ryman, Gareth, and Mr. Melon.
Yeah.
Gen 6, it's kind of, you know, one of the... Hello, I'm one of the best Mons in Gen 6. It's a ghosty boy, Aegislash.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like...
It'd just be a bigger shield, wouldn't it? And like...
It would, yeah. I just feel like this is such an obvious one. Like, it's already, like... I mean, I don't know how much it is nowadays, but certainly when Gen 6 came out, Aegislash was huge competitive.
Yeah. I don't think it is as much anymore, but
Like,
it's still up there. It's still up there.
It's still up there, and like it's so cool. It's just really cool.
It's a cool Mon.
Like,
it's like
I feel like I could see them doing a thing where like for the Mega, because obviously at the moment it is just like the possessed Sword and Shield. I could see them doing a thing where like for the Mega, maybe the like ghost inside it kind of like takes form, and then it's like a knight holding them kind of thing. I could see it maybe doing something like that.
that'd be cool.
So it's kind of like a ghostly figure holding the sword and shield.
Yeah.
I could see something like that maybe. Because that could be the gimmick. That could be the whole thing of Mega Aegislash is that instead of having like the high defense or the high attack of its forms, it's got both. I mean, that would be kind of insane.
That would be Mega Rayquaza level, Jake.
Yeah, that would be insane. Maybe not that high, but certainly it could have like an even balance maybe.
Yeah.
Instead of like... Yeah, but it could be like an even balance, but like, you know, above average. But yeah, I don't know.
Or it just has the same stance change, what it's called, and be like maybe like add like an extra like 20, 30 points to each of the things to make it like slightly stronger. Maybe.
Yeah, it could. Well, it probably would be something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think like if you're looking at Gen 6, I just feel like there's no more like obvious Pokemon that people want to have a Mega than Aegislash. I just feel like everybody loves this Pokemon. Like it's just like it's one of the most iconic ones like we got out of Gen 6, and it's like it just feels like a no-brainer. It really
does feel like a no-brainer.
But the only thing that's more of a no-brainer is the first place, which I think we both know what it is. And this may or may not be one of the reasons I chose this list, because I knew straight away that this would be the number 1, and you would have to be there and be like, "Oh, here's the most popular one." So,
I hate my job sometimes. Right.
Do you want to say it, or should I?
So we've done many top 10s in the past, right?
Yeah.
The only times I've hated number 1 has been Waluigi, who did top 10. Was it Waluigi who won that? No, it wasn't.
Yes. Waluigi won something.
Smash Bros video.
Smash,
that was it.
Likely Smash newcomers.
Newcomers, right? I wasn't mad when Zelda won the Switch ones, because I got it. I understood it, right?
Yeah.
It's just not my type of game. I understand why Zelda won those lists.
Yeah, the Waluigi one was almost like a meme vote. That's the thing. It's like people want him, but like he got to number 1 because everyone knows you hate him.
I feel like there was like 80% people want it and like 20% to piss me off.
Yeah.
I feel like this is exactly the same, right? Right, I just want to clarify something right now, right? Aegislash got 43 points, right?
Right.
Maximum points you can get is 140, right?
Right.
So let's say it got 70 points. It got 50% of the vote.
Right.
It got 67. So the gap between second and first was 24 points, right?
Oh my god.
24 points. Right? So to put it into context, 24 points would have got 6th or 7th on our list today. Because Nintenhawk, Foss, you, Alka, first place. Molly, third. Frickin' Flygon!
Frickin' Flygon.
Oh my god. I hate this Pokemon so much.
Do you want to, like, take this moment to address why you hate this Pokemon so much, just to get out there?
Oh my god. Flygon, right? I don't like Vibrava, right? I've got no problem with Vibrava. I think Vibrava looks fucking amazing, right?
Yeah.
When it evolves, it looks ugly as shit, right? I feel like every time I've used it in a Nuzlocke, it's died instantly because it's terrible. It gets no good moves when you're doing a playthrough. I hate it so much because when I started doing YouTube videos, right, every time I did Nuzlocke, Flygon would randomly show up, right?
Yeah.
And die, like, fuck me over so many times. I just hated it from that reason. Like, out of all the Pokemon in Gen 3, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But I know why. I know why people say, oh, Flygon's amazing. Flygon's amazing. It's the best Pokemon ever. It deserves a Mega because it needs to be a Bug Dragon type, right? Yanmega, better option for Bug. Yanmega. Haxorus, we talked about earlier. Much better. Flygon, nah, just fuck off.
Yeah, so I feel like okay, so like I had this at number 1 because of the potential of it being Bug Dragon. I think that was the main thing I wanted out of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was like the thing is, right, I think a big part of it as well is that it's everything you just said about how it has like no good moves, it's like not very strong, the people don't like the design as much. I feel like they could fix with a Mega.
They could, but
they could make it good.
Yeah, but there's so many shitter mons which actually people like, which are better. Like Mega, for example.
Yeah, that is fair. Yeah, but no, I don't know. I think when I think about it now in terms of likeliness, I feel like maybe this shouldn't be number 1 for me. But I still do think that, like, if there's like any part of them that does listen to fans at all, they will do Mega Flygon because I think everyone expected it in Oris, didn't get it. We were like, where is it? Like,
it just didn't happen,
I don't know. And I knew that this was going to win. It was one of the reasons I suggested this list in the first place.
In the back of my head, I was like, I feel like if the list was what mons you want to get a Mega, I would see Flygon getting up there. What Game Freak will do, I was like, maybe there's a chance it won't get up there.
Yeah, that is kind of what I'm thinking now, is that, like, I put it as number 1, but I think I might have gotten a bit wrapped up in the meme of it because you hate it so much. But I don't think it's the most likely mon that would get one in ZA. I think if I'm being honest with myself, if I'm being really honest with myself, I think the most likely is Pyro.
Yeah.
Personally.
I think it has to be a Gen 6 or a Gen 1 Pokemon. You probably will get a Mega.
Yeah. I mean, Pyroar is my my 3rd place, and it's the highest Gen 6 one I've got.
Yeah.
Like, above it, I've got Milotic and Flygon.
Yeah.
Which, Milotic, I think, is more likely than Flygon now I think of it. But I think, out of all of them, Pyroar, I think, is most likely. But yeah, no, I can totally still see them doing Flygon if they are just listening to fans.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what they actually do, but...
Like, if Flygon had won the list by, like, a couple of points, I'd have been... Yeah, whatever.
It's the fact that it's such a huge landslide.
It won by 25, right? And we had so many mons on the list. So it wasn't like... there were so many. We had 81, right?
81.
81 options. And it got nearly half the vote. Like, what
like, most of the lists must have had Flygon on them.
Literally, right? Okay, let's have a look. 6 out of 14 didn't have it. So about half the list didn't have it.
More than half the list had it. So
and they got half the vote.
Yeah, which works out, I guess. But hey, oh god, yeah, okay. I'm not surprised by that, if I'm being honest. And I think again, if it was like megas that you want, I think Flygon is a no-brainer. Most likely, maybe not, but I'm partly to blame for this because I had it number 1 as well. So
yeah,
what can I say?
Jack, if you didn't have it number 1, it still would have won by 14 points.
Yeah, if it was nowhere on my list, because even if it wasn't number 1, it would still be in my top 10 probably.
Yeah.
So like.
Right,
yeah.
So I would talk. Oh, which mods did we not talk about? Literally, on looking at my screen, you only had 2 Pokemon we didn't talk about on your list, and they came like 8th and 7th.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we start with my list, because yours will take a bit longer to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in at number 7, go figure, I had Golurk, which, okay, hear me out. It is my favourite.
I know
it is my favourite, but it is my favourite. That's not the only reason I have it in my list.
I guess
that's not the only reason.
I've got 1 point. I think if you don't say, I'm going to say, but
so yeah. So there's 2 main points to it. Well, 3 main points. One of them is Gen 5 doesn't have a lot of megas.
Just Ordino.
So that's the main one.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of them. Secondly, if they don't want to do the Mega Floette thing with AZ because he's like. Because they don't want to do like a non-final evolution. Golurk is another Pokemon he has, so I feel like that could work as a Mega.
Yeah.
And it kind of being like a big like Golem kind of would work for like the war kind of vibe maybe.
Yeah.
And thirdly, there is that I can't remember what it's called, but there's that like one place with like the gardens which has that big statues of
That's
Golurk
what I was going to say. When you go to Parfume Palace, you've got that fucking Furfur in that maze. That freaking Furfur in that maze. The statue over the bridge, you get big Golurk.
Yeah,
you get
like big statue of Golurk.
Yeah,
so,
it's got a Floette, I think, on it as well, and then some random Donny on it.
Yeah. So yeah, I just feel like there's quite a few things that kind of tie Golurk to Kalos. So like, I could see it happening if they are like hesitant to do a Mega Floette because it's not the final version. Then like,
Golurk's there.
Maybe Mega Golurk could be the one because I feel like if AZ is in the game, he has to have a Mega. Like he wouldn't not. So that's Golurk, and then number 8 is this is a little bit of an out of the blue one. This is I have Fearow in number 8.
I had it number 9.
Did you? Okay, so maybe we will agree on this one then. But I feel like when you kind of look at literally from the start of the Pokédex onwards, right? Like Fearow is the first Mon in the Dex that doesn't have any love.
Yeah,
like it doesn't have like. Because like, obviously the Gen 1 stars have stuff. We have we have G-Max Butterfree, we have Mega Beedrill, we have Mega Pidgeot, we have Alolan Raticate,
yeah.
And then you've got Spearow and Fearow who have nothing. And then, after them, sure, we've then got, I think, Ekans and Arbok, who also don't have anything. Then obviously you've got Pikachu, who does have something. You've got Sandshrew, who does have something. I've got my big picture of them on the wall. So, like, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of, like, I don't know. To me, it just like feels a little bit weird that Fearow's never gotten anything. I know Pidgeot is easily the more popular of the 2.
Yeah, I'm looking at my poster now with all the Gen 1 Pokemon. I feel like most of the things on it have some love of some description. Yeah, it's like Snorlax has got like a Gigantamax form and a Z move. Mew's got love. Mewtwo's got loves. The birds have got love. Obviously, Eevee gets love. Aerodactyl. You know, there's loads of mons on there which either have a mega different like form, as a special Z move, a Gigantamax form, like all this stuff, or like another evolution in the likes of like Electabuzz and Magmar, etc. There are so many on there which do get love. Fearow doesn't.
Fearow doesn't, and I feel like it deserves it because it's been like long overdue. It's one of the very first Pokemon we ever got.
It is
like
it deserves love. So they were the 2 on not on Jack's list, right?
Yeah, so those were in 7 and 8.
I have 7 on mine, which we didn't talk about today. Okay. I'm going to start from the bottom up.
Okay.
10th, I had Furfrou. Then I had Noivern. I feel like I chose Noivern as my dragon from Gen 6, I think would get a Mega. This next Mon, I feel like when I say it, you'll go, that would be a cool Mega. But I don't think anyone would think about it.
Right.
Klinklang.
Yes, Klinklang. That would be pretty cool.
Because A, it's set in the future of Klinklang to set a gears and cogs, right? It would
Yeah.
be. It's what was it? Pure steel type. I could easily make it steel electric and be like,
Yeah.
zappy zap. I just feel
I
like
could definitely see Steel Electric. I think it would be like we haven't actually gotten any after Magnezone. I think so. Like,
Toby Demaru.
oh yeah, of course. I always forget that thing exists.
And I had Haxorus, obviously.
Yeah.
Right, fourth spot. No, not fourth spot. Fifth spot. Right, Gen 5. I
Yeah.
feel like this Mon from Gen 5, cool design, but not great. I feel it would be an absolutely insane mega, which would be Livani.
Livani, yes,
Because
I can totally see that.
because it could be like obviously it's just like pretty. I feel like it could get like these big grass like scything on its arms and be like pure.
I can see it being very Ceruledge, but grass.
Yeah,
I could see it being very much
100%.
like that.
Then I had obviously Malamar fourth,
Right.
third spot, right. It's a Gen 1 Pokemon. It's really good, but I don't think I was surprised because I was doing research saying, oh, what Mons in Gen 1 have got no love or anything? Clefable.
Clefable.
It hasn't got a Z move. It's got like nothing special. It's just, hi, I'm a fairy now. That's all they've done with it.
Yeah, I can totally see. I can definitely see that, and I think Clefable in particular has got quite a strong case because it. Well, for one thing, it's the first fairy type in the dex. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's got fairy in the bloody name, and obviously fairy and fairy type is very important to
Gen
Kalos
6,
because it's where we got
Got
it. And I think, obviously, if you've like read all of the theories about how like the original story of XY was going to be like the fairy types are going to be from the moon or whatever, like that's literally Clefairy's whole thing is that it's meant to be like a Pokemon from the moon.
Yeah,
So,
I
like-
could easily see. I know Clefairy, not Clefairy, Clefable at the minute, still broken to this day because it's a bulky fairy type.
Yeah,
But it would probably be absolutely disgusting when it Mega Evolves. But I just feel like it deserves one.
yeah,
Yeah. Obviously, I had Dragonite second, and
Yeah.
the Mons I had first. No one else thought of.
right.
I feel like it would be cool. Again, Gen 1, not got much love. I'll put Nido King / Nido Queen. Because I feel,
Right,
cause
okay.
Cause I feel like they're both strong Gen 1 Pokemon, which
Yeah.
have been there since day dot. They've nid around in most games, right?
Yeah,
No love at all. Not really.
no love.
Not really.
And they're not.
And
They're
I-
not really that strong anyway. Like
Yeah,
they're like, I don't know.
They're strong, but they're not like strong.
they're
you
not
get what I
up
mean?
there. They're not up there. Like they don't get enough love or anything.
And I just thought in my head, right, because of it's set in the future, I was thinking, oh, Gallade Gardevoir combo with Eye Valiant. They could do a mega of in between, like a Nido King /
Yeah, I
Queen.
can totally see
like,
that.
Like a Latios kind of vibe, and just boom.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah,
I'm
they could
super
definitely
strong,
do that. Yeah, they can make another. They can make another Pokemon that defeats gender. What would it be called? It would be like Nido Lord or something.
Nido Lord. Nido Lord. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah. So I think predictions now. If none of our top 5 in this video get a mega, then we've done it wrong.
Yeah, we can hang our heads in shame if that happens.
If Flygon, Aegislash, Zygarde, Goodra, or Pyro don't get a mega,
yeah.
this community is screwed.
Again, I feel like Pyro has to. I feel like
I-
if we're being very realistic with ourselves, I honestly think Pyro is the most likely.
Yeah, I feel like if none of that top 5 get one, then something's wrong. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let us know in the comments. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow. It's not Twitch. Like, comment, subscribe. On the road to 500, we are 54 away, I think. Something like that.
We're getting there.
For
We're
the end
nearly
of the,
there.
500 by the end of the year. Easy. Easy dubs. Easy dubs. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in next one. Bye.
Bye.